Welcome back to the next video of this React query tutorial. In this part, we'll be having a look at mutations for creating, updating, and deleting to-do items. Let's start by creating a new to-do item. So in the hooks folder, create a new hook called useCreateTodoMutation. And all we have to do is return useMutation. This will take a parameter called a mutation function. In this case, we'll pass in todo's API.create. Just a reminder that this method takes a description string and makes a post request to our backend. So when you're done creating this hook, then we can modify the React component. So head over to the InputForm, and at the top of the file, we can call the hook that we just made. Don't forget to import this. And now that we have this variable, then we can navigate down to the button. In particular, in the onClick handler, we'll add the logic for creating the new to-do item. First, we can do a check to see if the input is null. If it is, then just return. Otherwise, we'll actually create the new to-do item. So we'll call the variable that we just made CreateTodoMutation, and we'll call the mutate method. And as a parameter, we'll pass in the input state. And creating a mutation is actually as simple as that. With ChakraUI, we can also add a loading spinner to the button. Up here we have an isLoading prop, and we can replace this with CreateTodoMutation.isLoading. One last thing we can also do is add a toast message so that when the mutation is complete, the user is notified. So from ChakraUI, we can do toast equal to useToast. And then in the CreateTodoMutation, we can pass in some additional callbacks. So here we can pass in an onSuccess callback. And then we'll do toast. For the title, we can write something like new to-do item added. We can add a status of success. A duration of, let's say, 5 seconds. Is closable true. And position will be bottom right. So the important thing to remember here is that in the onClick of the button, we call the CreateTodoMutation.mutate function and pass in the appropriate parameters. In our case, it's just a string of the input. And we can also pass in additional onSuccess callbacks. So if we want to do things like component-specific side effects. Let's test out that it works. Let's enter a new to-do item. Click Add. And you'll see that the toast appears, and if we hit refresh, you'll see that the new to-do item has been added to the list. Great, so it was successfully created. However, one thing that is not great about the user experience is the fact that we need to manually refresh in order for the changes to appear in the UI. We'll discuss how to fix this later, but at least for now we know that the loading spinner appeared on the button, and the toast appeared in the bottom right, and when we refresh, we see that it actually got created. So that's some good progress. Now we'll do something very similar for updating and deleting a to-do item. We can actually copy everything over from the useCreateTodoMutation and just change up a few parameters. I'll start with the useUpdateTodoMutation. So copy everything over, and we'll change the name to useUpdateTodoMutation. We'll also need to make sure to update the mutation function. Instead of Todo'sAPI.create, this will be Todo'sAPI.update. And a reminder that this takes in updated todo as a parameter, and then it'll call the put method from the REST API. We can do the same for the delete. So create a new file called useDeleteTodoMutation. Make sure to update the name. And same thing in this case is to call the correct mutation function. So it'll be Todo'sAPI.delete. And if we look at this method, we'll see as a parameter it takes an ID string, and it calls the delete method from the REST API. When you're done creating these hooks, let's modify the React component. In particular, in the components, let's navigate to the to-do list. At the top of the file, we can call the hooks that we just created. When that's done, let's navigate down to the checkbox. And just a reminder that we loop through the array of to-do items, and for each one, we render a checkbox. So for each individual checkbox, we'll need to add logic for completing that specific to-do item. The first thing I'll do is create an argument called mutation params. And I'll spread the item, and then toggle the completed boolean. So what this will do is just edit the completed boolean, and it'll leave the other parameters the same. Then we can call the UpdateTodoMutation .mutate, and we can pass in the mutate params. We can also add an additional onError callback just to notify the user in case there's an error. We can do this with the onError callback. I'll fix this typo. And in this onError callback, we can also add a toast like we did before. So at the top, let's write toast equal to useToast. Remember, this is from ChakraUI. We'll import this as well. And back down here in the onError callback, we'll write toast. We'll give it a title. We can write failed to update to-do item. We'll pass a status of error. And then we'll also give it a duration, 5 seconds, and set some other properties like is closable to true. And position will be bottom right. So just to reiterate that for this specific to-do item, we only toggle the completed boolean, then we pass those params to the mutation, and also set an onError callback to display a toast in case there's an error. Let's do something similar for the button, in particular the close icon. So this is for deleting a to-do item. In this case, we can call DeleteTodoMutation, and we can pass in the item.id. So it'll be DeleteTodoMutation.mutate. And same here, we can also pass in an on-error callback with a toast in case there's an error. So I'll copy paste what we had up here. In this case, we'll just modify the title to say, failed to delete to-do item. And just a reminder that the delete to-do mutation, all it takes is the ID of the to-do item, and it'll delete that one. Let's test out the update and delete to make sure it actually works. I'll complete the first to-do items, and delete the last one. Then hit refresh, and we'll see the changes are appropriately made. We're making good progress and adding functionality to our application. Again, it is a poor user experience that we need to refresh the page manually for changes to appear. For this purpose, we can use query invalidation that we spoke about in the first video of this tutorial. Stay tuned for the next video where we actually implement this.